Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. And I'm here in the studio of our Institute studio. And I was thinking this morning about something that I made up my mind when I come into the studio today. I was going to make a video and send it to you. I have been studying all this material for 57 years, studying why people do what they do and why they don't do what they really want to do. Now, do you know, when I was 26, up until I was 26, I had never read a book. And a man gave me this book, it's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've never stopped reading it. And I got thinking this morning, though, in all the books I've read, I've gathered an enormous amount of information, and I've been teaching it for a long time. My life changed and changed dramatically, and I didn't really know why it changed. And so I set out on a journey of trying to figure out what happened, because my income went from $4,000 to over $1 million, and no formal education, no business experience. And so when I figured out it took me 9.5 years, all I wanted to do was teach it. And that's all I've been doing now for going on 50 years. And I have worked with some of the most phenomenal people that you're going to find anywhere. Let me go around the other side of the desk here for a moment. I'm going to ask you to think for a moment of how well you're doing and how well you'd really like to do. Do you know, most people are not doing anywhere near as well as they would like to. They're just not. And they don't really know why. They study, they're giving it the best they've got. But you know, in all these books, there's one word that's missing in almost all of them. And that's the word that's appearing on the screen: paradigm. And when I found out what happened to me, how I shifted my paradigm, everything in my world changed, and I just wanted to teach it. I want you to think of this for a moment. We go to school, or we gather information. We're in corporations. They put us through training programs. We gather an enormous amount of information, and we know how to do a better job than we're doing. Like, I frequently ask the person, do you believe you could earn a lot more than you're earning? And they'll almost always say yes. Then I'll say, well, why aren't you doing it? And you know something? They don't know the answer to that. I do know the answer. It's their paradigm. It's the conditioning. It starts out genetically. That's why we look like our relatives. It's passed on from generation to generation. And then environmentally. It's the way we're raised. We're a product of our environment. And school doesn't teach us this information. School doesn't teach us how to earn money. School doesn't teach us what attitude actually is. School doesn't teach us the difference between how our conscious mind works and how our subconscious works. See, our conscious mind gathers the information, but it's our subconscious that controls our behavior, and that controls our results. So when I realized that through some fluke, I don't think it was a fluke, it might have been guided, I literally changed the paradigm. But I changed it by doing something that was so unnatural, it was so ridiculous by most people's standards, that most people couldn't understand what happened, and neither could I. I was living in England, and I was earning over $1 million a year, and I couldn't figure out just what happened. And so I thought somebody must know, and I started to study. 9.5 years. And when I figured it out, it's like I said, all I wanted to do was teach it. Now, for you to change your paradigm, you're not going to change it like that. You go to a weekend seminar. I run weekend seminars. People come to them expecting to change their whole life. The weekend seminar may change a person's life, but it's highly unlikely. What we do is teach them the information that they have to get in order to change the paradigm. And when they understand then how to change the paradigm, they've got to follow the direction. So one day I was sitting down, it was a long time ago, and I decided I was going to put together a course of instruction that would run for at least a year. It actually runs for 13 months. I was working with a woman, Carol Gates, and Carol and I put together our coaching program. Now, this isn't a coaching program like most coaching programs, you know, where I phone you up one week and I say, okay, Betty or Harry, what are you going to do this week? And you tell me. And next week I phone and I said, did you do it? Well, why do you think you didn't do it? That's adult babysitting. We put together a series of lessons every week. Every week I'm working with you for 13 months. And you're going to find that your awareness starts to shift and just starts to shift. There's a man named Chris Guerrero. Chris wrote me a letter. Oh, this was 3 or 4 years ago because our coaching program's been going for, I don't know, 12, 15 years. But Chris Guerrero wrote me a letter and he said, Bob, when I started your coaching program, I had to put 3 or 4 credit cards together to get into it. But he said, I came back to it. I've gone through it 2 or 3 times. He said, I want you to know I just had my first $1 million month. Chris Guerrero. He's doing an online business. He earns over $1 million a month. But I could tell you all kinds of stories like that. You see, we've all got the potential. We've got these deep reservoirs of talent and ability. We have to be guided on what we have to do to change the paradigm. And it's not just a matter of gathering information. It's getting the right information to do the right thing. Like that, it changes. This could change your life like night and day. It's definitely changed mine. What we're going to show you, what I'm going to teach you to do, is exactly what I did. No formal education, no business experience. Started out with nothing. The first year, I went from earning $4,000 to earning $375,000. Now, I hadn't earned $375,000 in that year, but I got my income to $15,000 a month, and I kept on growing. About 5 years later, I was cleaning offices. I cleaned offices in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, Atlanta, London, England. The thing was just going because I was doing what I was being led to do. But I didn't know why I was changing. I used Earl Nightingale's material. I loved his material. I ended up working with him. I have had some of the most phenomenal mentors in the world. So when you choose to have me coach you, you're getting 57 years of my daily study, but you're getting years of experience that I've gained from other people. Your life can change like night and day. What I want to recommend is that you invest in you. You bet on you. Call one of our people. Leave your information and leave your phone number so they can phone and talk to you and answer your questions. So many people send us in something and they don't send a phone number and we're not able to reach them. We send them an email and, oh, well, they just forgot about it. Don't forget about it. This is too important. When you leave your information, when you hit the button, leave your email, but leave your phone number and a good time to reach you. Write a little note on it. Let one of the people that work with me, I've got one of the most phenomenal teams of people that work with me that you're going to find anywhere. And we will take and work with you over 13 months, and like that, you're going to find your results change. It happens for every person because we're all operating with exactly the same potential. Hit the button right now. Leave your name, your email, and your phone number, and talk to one of our people. Get your questions answered. Watch this video 2 or 3 times. Really stop and think about it. Ask yourself, could I do better than I'm doing? You know you can. And say, well, why aren't I doing it? You don't know. You even know what you should do, but you don't do it. You see, the part of the mind that knows and the part that controls the behavior, 2 different parts. We're going to show you how to change that. Hit the button. Leave your name, your address, and your phone number. You're going to be so glad you did. And when you're in a seminar, come over and tell me, it was this video that helped move you in the right direction. This is Bob Proctor. Thank you.